Hey y'all, welcome back to Better with Biscuits. Happy New Year. This is the first video of 2026 and we are starting out with probably my all-time favorite thing to cook and eat. It is none other than Southern fried chicken. If you just think in your mind, what is the epitome of Southern food? It is probably fried chicken or fried something. But anyway, it's fried chicken today. I'm going to try not to talk a lot, but there are several things that you need to consider when frying chicken. Um, Number one, the chicken. I don't know what in the world is happening to the chickens in the grocery store, but they are huge. But if you're talking about frying chicken, bone-in chicken, you want to get a smaller chicken. The ideal frying size, or the size chicken that I like to get, is usually 3 to 4 pounds. Now, I went to 4 grocery stores yesterday, and the majority of the chickens were 5 pounds and over. I know Kroger and Publix and Food Lion, they will carry a brand, not sponsored. No, this is not even a shout out. This is just me telling you what I get. I usually try to get, if I'm buying chicken from a big grocery store, I will try to get the brand Springer Mountain. They grow smaller chickens. I mean, they have some that are like high 4, but a lot of them are like just under 3 to 4 pounds. And that is exactly the size chicken that you want to fry. So size of the bird matters. How you want to actually fry it. There are lots of ways to fry chicken. I have fried chicken a lot of different ways. We've got shallow frying chicken in a shallow skillet, kind of like this. So this is not getting anything put in it besides cornbread. This is my cornbread pan. But if you have a shallow skillet that's not a cornbread pan, you could shallow fry it. There's this option. Sorry, that was loud. This is a deep iron skillet. I really like cooking in this for frying chicken. I can't decide if I want to do this or my Dutch oven today. We'll have to see. Or, like I said, there's the Dutch oven. Don't judge this Dutch oven. She's been through a lot. This is our spaghetti, chili, and frying Dutch oven. We have a different one that we don't really fry in or cook anything really staining in, but this one's been beat up. So there's that. Or, if you have a really heavy bottom stainless steel pot, frying that. As long as you're going to deep fry it, meaning the piece of chicken is going to be completely covered in oil, what you use really doesn't matter. Don't use anything coated to fry. Don't use a nonstick pot. All right, so we've covered the size chicken, how we're going to cook it, what you're going to cook it in. So the type of oil matters. You're not going to fry in olive oil. Don't do it. First of all, you'll burn your house down. You want an oil that has a high smoke point. Grandma back in the day cooked in lard, fried it in lard, solid shortening. Do that if you want to, but I'm going to do the easy version, and I'm just going to do vegetable oil. I love the taste that peanut oil gives fried chicken. I absolutely love the taste of peanut oil fried chicken. However, I don't fry often enough to keep oil and reuse it. If you fry a lot and you want the peanut oil taste, get you some peanut oil. It's more expensive. But we don't deep fry enough to really worry about saving oil. It will be bad by the next time I fry. So I go vegetable oil. You can do canola oil. It could just be me, or it could be how I was cooking the chicken. But I find that chicken cooked in canola oil, the skin will be a little darker than if you cook it in vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is a little lighter in color, so that's what I use, and it's cheaper. Okay, I am going to be frying a whole chicken. So I went to the grocery store and I bought a whole frying chicken. The chicken I bought was 3.75 pounds, and I'm going to insert a clip of me cutting that chicken up into pieces to fry and marinating the chicken, seasoning it up last night. So you don't have to do it that far in advance, but it packs a really good flavor if you will plan ahead a little bit. So like say you're frying chicken for dinner. So that morning, first thing, cut your chicken up, season it up, put it in the brine, put it in the refrigerator, and then pull it out before you're ready to fry and then fry it. But let it go most of the day. I mean, if you're just in a tight and you want some fried chicken, I know a lot of grandmas in the past, salt, pepper, buttermilk, flour, fry it. I mean, you don't have to do all this. This is just how I do mine. It is a really flavorful fried chicken. But I say all that to say, I'm going to show you how to cut up a whole chicken. If that bothers you, if that irks you to no end, if you don't want to do that, a lot of grocery stores will cut up the chicken for you. So go pick out your chicken, tell them, hey, I want this cut into 8 pieces for frying, or 9 or 10 or however many you want. And they'll take it to the back, cut it up, and bring it out to you. But if you want to get real nitty gritty and try doing the whole shebang, I'm about to walk you through how to cut it up. So we'll be back after you see that. Here we go. There's lots of ways to do this, but I do like to try to start by trimming off the excess fat down here. Let me get this other knife. And contrary to what other people might do, I find that a smaller knife that I can control easily is best at cutting up chicken. And actually, I'm going to use my meat shears, but if you don't have that, a good sharp knife will work. All right, I'm going to put that right there for now. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This knife's a little dull, but I've already chickened it up, so I'm going to use it. Okay, that looks better. So chicken kind of gives you some clues as to how best to cut it. I'm going to start, I have the chicken backside down, breast side up, wings are pointing up, legs are right here. I'm going to start by slicing through that skin that attaches the leg quarter to the breast, okay? And I'm going to slice through all that and leave it like that. Okay. So now you see this groove right here? That groove right there? That's where I'm going to cut the leg from the thigh, okay? I'm going to get my bigger knife to do that. You just find that groove and go straight down. Chicken leg. Just like you'd get it if you bought a pack of chicken legs. There it is right there in the bowl. All right, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. Just to keep it the same, okay? We'll find that groove, that line, for lack of a better term. It's 9 o'clock on Thursday night, and it's been a long week. So the white line between the leg and the thigh, and it comes right off, okay? All right, so we've got the thighs and the breast and the wings left. So let's go ahead and get the wings. So you see it attaches right here, but I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to cut a little bit of the breast meat off with the wing. Just a little bit, not a lot. You want to get a bite of meat when you're eating just the wing. Okay, if you cut it too close, you usually won't have bones. So same thing, I'm going to kind of get a little bit of the breast and cut around. Cut around. Woo. And there you have it. A little bit of meat on the wing. All right. So now, see, oh, there's another line right there. I'm not going to cut my finger. There's a line right there, okay? So that will be where we cut this apart. This is where I'm going to move to my meat shears. This is what these shears are for. It is their purpose. All right. Turn it over. There's a line right there. Use a knife or meat shears to cut that. It's taking the back off the breast, okay? So there's the two breasts. You've got to split this in half. This is what's called rib meat. I personally don't care to have the ribs left on when I fry, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those off with my, usually you just give one a good cut and it'll come off pretty clean. There we go. That just cleans it up a little bit to work with the thighs and back. We're left with this piece, which has the back and the two thighs attached. I'm going to cut the back off like that. I'm going to separate, I don't want that on there. All right, I'm going to separate the thigh from the back. Nice size thigh. Okay, same thing on this side. I'll cut right there. All right, and there's the other thigh. All right, so we're left with this breast part, okay? So it's got the, I guess, pulley bone right here that goes right here. Some people will cut this off right here and they'll make 3 pieces of big white meat. They'll have the pulley bone and then the 2 breast portions. If the chicken was really, really big, I would definitely do that. But this one, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to just make 2 pieces of breast meat. This is pretty tough right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that and make sure it breaks. It doesn't have to be even, but just as long as that's separated. Okay. And then I'm going to go through and give a good clean cut because I want my skin to stay on my breast meat. And since I took the rib off, I'm going to actually take that off. I'm going to take that off. Since I took the ribs off, the only bone really is that. So this looks like a big piece of white meat, but it's actually going to cook pretty quickly. White meat cooks quicker than dark meat because it has less bones in it. And so this will cook up nicely. We're going to get to seasoning this now. And actually, for whatever reason, I like to start with skin side down when I season. You don't have to. As long as you season it, doesn't matter how you season it. But I just like to do it. I season both sides because we eat both sides. All right. So from that one chicken, I got 2. Obviously, I got 2 wings, 2 thighs, 2 legs, and 2 breasts. So that'll feed a pretty good amount of people. If you're having a bunch of people over, if you got a big family, obviously you might want to fry 2. Or you could split the pulley bone off the breasts and have 3 pieces of white meat that way. So let me wash my hands, get the seasonings out of the cabinet, and we're going to season it right here on this cutting board before putting it in our marinating dish. We'll be right back. Okay, so to start building our flavor profile on our chicken, we're going to start seasoning it, and then we're going to put it in a buttermilk brine. No, all the seasoning is not going to come off of the buttermilk because it's going to be very tightly compacted in a container and it's going to just drink it all up. It's going to be good. So we're going to start with some salt and pepper, bread and butter of Southern cooking, and salt and pepper. Now listen, there's some people that just do salt and pepper on their fried chicken and it's good. A lot of times if you go to like a buffet, that's all they've done to it is salt and peppered it. I like a little more richness of flavor on my chicken. And I don't think I'm in the minority with that. If you like basic salt and pepper fried chicken, I'm not judging you. Don't judge me for what I put on my chicken either. We've got salt. We've got, come on, pepper. Pepper. All right. Of course, we're doing some garlic powder. Hello. And we're going to do some onion powder. And if you've seen some of my earlier videos, you know I am a fan of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poultry Magic. It is so good. I dare say it's magical. Okay, all right. So this is just a blend of herbs and seasonings, and I like it because it gives it a good, rich color as well. So we have a seasoning hand, and we have a hand that we're going to handle the chicken with. Do not cross-contaminate touching chicken with your seasonings. That's just nasty. Also, be having clean hands in the kitchen. If your hands ain't clean, don't be cooking. All right, so we've got the chicken flipped over. We're going to do the same seasonings on the other side. Pepper. Woo-hoo. Onion. And garlic. I know what you're thinking. He's using the same hand to shake the seasonings that he turned the chicken over with, and I washed my hands when I clipped the video. All right, and of course, Chef Paul's. A big thing to remember when working with chicken is do not cut on a wood cutting board. You want to make sure you are able to get it very, very clean after you have worked with chicken. So always use a plastic or acrylic or whatever you have that's not wood. Don't use wood. All right, so now this is my buttermilk pouring hand. We're going to put the chicken in our container. And like I said, it's going to be kind of compact. That's fine. It's actually going to help the seasonings to stay on it. And we're not going to completely baptize this in buttermilk, but we are going to put enough on it to really coat it good. How you like that? There's buttermilk on my floor. It'll be fine. Okay. There we have it. It's not floating in buttermilk, but it's covered in buttermilk. We're going to put a lid on this. We're going to throw it in the refrigerator. It is 9:42 Thursday night. It's going in the refrigerator all night, and most of the day tomorrow. I plan to cook this late tomorrow afternoon. So, and I will see you guys back when we cook it. It's going to be good. Get ready. Now, you've just handled chicken. Spray your cabinets and your sink down. Just better be safe than sorry. Okay, so this is Friday afternoon. I am planning to start frying this chicken about 3 o'clock. So I pulled it out of the refrigerator at 2:10, 2:15. Listen, you don't want to leave it out so long that it becomes unsafe. I am not telling you to do that. If your house is about 70 degrees, you can pull this out. This is still frigid cold, okay? But you want to take it out of the refrigerator 45 minutes, 30 minutes before you're going to start cooking so it can get the initial chill off. So it can kind of warm up a little bit, as in be warmer than in the refrigerator, but not so warm that it's unsafe for you to eat it. Don't do that. That's nasty. But if you drop really cold chicken into really hot oil, your temperature of your oil is going to plummet so fast that you won't have a crispy, crunchy outside And the part of fried chicken that's so good is the crispy, crunchy skin. Hello, amen? So we're going to pull it out of the refrigerator and let it sit on the counter, covered, uncovered, it doesn't matter, just for a little while so it's not quite so icy cold going down into the oil. So while this is coming, getting a little warmer, I am going to walk you through how to make the flour dredge and get the pan ready to go. So I'll be right back. All right, let's talk about the breading for the outside of the chicken, which we all know is just as important as the chicken itself. Season the breading. I cannot tell you how many videos of people I've seen fry chicken that will season the chicken, but they'll put it in plain flour. Make it make sense. I don't know. I want it to taste, I want there to be some flavor, okay? So, as I've already said, if you like salt and pepper chicken and that's all you want to put on it, do it. But your kitchen, you cook how you want to cook. I like these seasonings on my fried chicken, and listen, you never want to sound like you're boasting about what you're doing, but I've cooked this chicken for a bunch of people, and they all have complimented on how good it is. So, here we go. All right, we're going to use 3 cups of self-rising flour. Do you have to use self-rising? Absolutely not. In fact, a lot of times I use all-purpose, but I like self-rising. Self-rising already is salty, and it just forms a little bit more of a crunchier crust, I found. So we're going to use 3 cups of self-rising flour, and everybody knows already that I use White Lily. Do you have to use White Lily for this? No. In fact, you don't, any flour will do. You're literally making a crust. You're not baking with it, where you need to be a little more peculiar, but I just like White Lily flour. All right, so we got 3 cups of self-rising flour in our brown paper bag. Why do I do this? Why do I use brown paper or a bag? Well, number one, all this is fixing to get chickened up. Chickened up. You like that verb? And you can throw every bit of that in the trash. You don't have to wash it. There's flour puffing everywhere. You don't have to wash this. If you used a plastic container, if you used a plate, if you used a bowl, you got to wash it. And who wants to handle more chicken stuff than they got to? Not me. So I use a bag. And it makes me feel a little more old school. So anyway. All right. To this flour, we are going to add a half tablespoon of salt, or 3 good teaspoons, 3 good heaping teaspoons. All right, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of ground black pepper. Whoop, whoop. If you think what I'm putting on my chicken is involved, you should see some of the videos I've seen before. They put like the entire spice cabinet on it, and I'm like, that ain't necessary. Okay, garlic powder. Now, I will be honest with you. Sometimes I just do salt, pepper in the flour, but the key is I've seasoned the flour with something. My lungs got seasoned with pepper. Okay, but if I'm cooking for a crowd, I will go ahead and put the garlic and onion in the powder as well, in the flour as well. And we're going to put 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. And usually I don't measure none of this, but for y'all, I thought I'd measure. So we got a half tablespoon, or 3 good heaping teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of onion powder in our flour. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that just a little bit of a stir to combine. The key to the good crust, which we'll get to in a minute, is coating it and letting it sit before it hits the grease. Letting the flour really set on the skin before it goes in the grease. But anyway, so I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to go over to the pot, and I'll show you kind of how to get that set up and get it going, and some things you need for that part. All right, so we're going to use Old Faithful Big Red here. And what I have is I have a kind of like a candy thermometer attached to the side of the pot so I can monitor my oil temperature. If there are two things that I would suggest you get, would be a way to monitor the temperature of your oil and a meat thermometer to be able to check the doneness of the chicken before you pull it out. You don't want to serve raw chicken. That's gross. Okay, so I'm going to fill the pot with oil until it's I want it about right here, about to the line where you can see we've been cooking in it. So I need a little bit more. You don't want to fill the pot, whatever vessel you're using to cook the chicken, you want it to be no more than a third of the way full of oil. When you put the chicken in the oil, the level will rise. So you don't want it too full or you'll have a fire. Okay, so one of the most important things to remember when you are frying chicken, do not turn this on high. You're going to let it come to temperature on medium heat. So it doesn't matter. The numbers on the stove don't matter. Medium heat. Because if you turn it up on high, it's going to get hot really, 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 really quick. And when you put that chicken in there, the temperature is going to drop really, 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 really quick. So you want it to get warm slowly so it stays hot. You want it to stay hot. And it's easier to control. It's easier to increase the temperature once you've put the cold chicken in there when you're on medium than it is to try to get it to go somewhere when you've already got it on high. Does that make sense? So, and I really don't fiddle with the temperature much. I let it get up to temperature on medium and I wait until it gets to 350, between 350 and 360 degrees before I drop the chicken. If you don't let it get up to that temperature and you put the chicken in there, it's going to drop way too low and it's not going to cook right. You're going to have some soggy crust, okay? So you want the temperature to be up between 350 and 360 before you even touch chicken in this grease, okay? So with it being on medium and we're needing it to get up to 350, 60 degrees, it's going to take a minute. So you want to start this process a good minute before you need to start cooking. And you're probably going to have to cook in batches. So this is all about time maintenance as well. So, all right, we'll be back when this gets to about 350, 360. So while we're waiting on this to get to 350 to 360 degrees, we're going to set it and forget it. And we're going to go back over there and we're going to start putting the crispy, crunchy goodie on the chicken. Okay? All right, let's go. All right, we're waiting for our oil to come to temperature. Remember, we want it about 350, 360 before we even touch the chicken in it. So let's go ahead and get the coating on our first batch of chicken. I cook all white meat together, all dark meat together. That is because dark meat will take about 15, 16, 17, 18-ish minutes to cook, depending on the size of the chicken. Smaller chicken is going to get done quicker. Bigger chicken, going to get done longer. So, about this size bird, I'm going to start checking the dark meat at about 15 minutes. We've got the oil up high enough that we're not going to have to flip the chicken or anything. So we're just going to put it in, set a timer, and check it when I think it's about done. Dark meat has more bones in it, so it's going to take longer to get the meat around those bones done. So that's why dark meat takes longer. White meat takes about 9, 10, 11 minutes, and it will dry out with a quickness. So you really need to watch the white meat when you cook it. Since the dark meat takes longer to cook, I usually cook it first. That way once the oil already has had a dropping of chicken in it, you're not cooking it longer once it's already been used one time. Does that make sense? Do it however you want to do it. That's just how it makes sense in my mind. So let me get this out of the way, completely out of the way. And then we're going to bring this over here. Now, some people, they will bread it and put it on something to let it set while you're waiting. I don't do that because that's something else chicken to wash. So I'm just going to leave it in the bag. All right. So look, my hands are clean. If you ain't got clean hands, don't be in the kitchen. Hello. Look, all the seasoning is on that chicken. I'm gonna let the buttermilk drip off, but it's coated in seasoning. Okay. So in the flour it goes. Okay. Here's another leg. We're doing legs and thighs. That's the dark meat. Okay. Legs, thighs, dark meat. Breast, wings, white meat. And if you did a back, I'd probably cook that with the white meat just because they don't have a whole lot of meat on it to cook. All right. 2 legs. That's a wing. That's a wing. That's the breast. Thighs are in the middle. Look at all that seasoning. You see what that does? You see what we did last night? We sprinkled all that seasoning, put in the buttermilk, and all that seasoning is going to be on that piece of chicken right there. That is my favorite piece of chicken, is the thigh. Ooh, I'm so ready. All right. 2 thighs. Okay. Don't make a mess with this because then you're going to have a lot to clean up. So try to be easy. All right, let me wash my hands before I touch the outside of my bag. You got to keep clean hands when you're doing this. I cannot believe how many people don't eat chicken off the bone. Like, that is where their flavor is. Even people my age, a lot of my friends, I don't eat chicken with the bone in it. Sorry, you're missing out. Nobody's saying to cook this all the time, okay? A lot of Southern food is really rich and calorie dense. But anything in moderation, right? Right. Praise the Lord. Okay, here we go. Our oil is already at 180 degrees, so making good progress there. I'm going to shake this up. Y'all seen that movie, The Help, where Minnie tells the woman to shake it up? You literally just shake it up. All right, so I'm going to leave that chicken in that bag until it's ready to fry. And I'm going to shake off the excess flour and put it in the grease. All right, we're back at the pot. It's not quite there, but we were just at 180 a little bit ago, and now we're at 260. So we are moving right along. I'm excited. It's going to be good. I'm excited to share this recipe with y'all. Do you have a favorite fried chicken memory? Mine is usually centered around a church dinner, a homecoming, or a family reunion. There's always been a big old platter of fried chicken. And granted, that fried chicken was usually picked up from the grocery store or somewhere, but fried chicken has just been at the center of most Southern get-togethers, as we call them. And once you kind of fine-tune the art of making it yourself at home, you will be less likely to go to the fast food place and pick up a bucket, okay? This just is totally different. It tastes so much better. And you take a lot of pride in the fact that you made it yourself. It's something you are putting on the table for your friends and family that came from your kitchen. You put in the work to do it. You don't do it often. It's a lot of work, but a lot of cleanup. We'll get to that later. But it's just something fun to do, and it's a skill that I feel like a lot of people need to know how to do, is cook some fried chicken. So we're going to do it. Already up to 300, so we're almost there. The time has come to drop the chicken. All right. So this is a splatter screen. You can put it over the pot, help from the grease to go in everywhere, but I don't think it should do that. So it's at 360. I'm going to take the chicken up, shake it, drop it away from me. Take it up, shake it, drop it away from me. Woo! You see how it's just kind of crumbled on there? That's from letting it sit in the flour. And you can see that sometimes I will flip the piece over and press down a little bit. pressed down and shaken together. All right. All right. So we were at 360 and we've already dropped down to 340. So I'm going to bump this up one notch just to kind of help boost up that temperature just a little bit. I don't want it to fall below 300 really. If it falls down below 300 for a little bit, that's okay. I've bumped it up a little bit. It'll get back up there. But I want it to cook about 300 or 310 just to make sure it's going to get good and crispy. All right, so we'll be back in just a little bit. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes, maybe 14 minutes, and I'll bring you back when I check them. All right, so you'll notice that it's kind of mellowed out. So I'm going to check it. Isn't that pretty? Pretty skin. All right, that's 173.75. Hold on, that might have been in the pocket. Check down around the bone. That's 197. That's good to go. I'm pulling it up. You want it to be, dark meat, you want to be at least 175. I'm going to go right down by the bone. Woo, yeah, that one's done. Now, this didn't even go 15 minutes, and I think it's because it was a smaller chicken. And because my temperature stayed higher. My temperature didn't drop nearly as bad as it does in a electric skillet because it is so much easier regulated on the stove. So my temperature stayed about 340. So it didn't take as long to cook the chicken thoroughly as it would have if the grease had dropped a lot down to like 300. So that let me cut off about 3 minutes of time. All right, so it's already back up to 360. We're gonna give, we're gonna give these white pieces, the white meat pieces, a good shake, pat and shake. And they're gonna go in the pot. Ready? Here's the breast. Boom. Now, since the temperature isn't dropping as much, these aren't going to take as long as I planned for either, which is a good thing. I'm actually going to turn the grease down just a little bit. It's maintaining its temperature very nicely. I don't want it to cook too fast. All right, we'll be back. I'm going to time this, maybe check about 8 minutes. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I got distracted doing something else, and the white meat got done and I had to get it out, so I couldn't film that. But the white meat took about 10 minutes, 10, 11 minutes. I had bumped the temperature of the stove down just a little bit, so the oil did drop a little bit more with the white meat, so it took a little bit longer. But it's done. All of it's done. And we have a platter of chicken. These are my two favorite pieces. We got the leg and the thigh. I'm going to do a taste test with this thigh. You hear that? That's all the skin right there. You see how it's seasoned down to the meat? Y'all, juicy, tender, seasoned. That's good chicken. And you know, you can take pride that you cooked it at home in your own kitchen, a labor of love for your friends and family. You know, it's multi-step, but none of it's really hard. The biggest thing, get a small chicken and watch your temperature. Oh, bring your chicken out of the refrigerator before a little bit of time before to make sure it gets some of that chill off of it so it doesn't shock the oil. and then just watch your oil. Have something that you can monitor the temperature of your oil with. A thermometer. I just like having an objective visual degree measurement. The bag, once I put the white meat in the pot, the bag went in the trash and I Lysoled the counter. Easy cleanup. You did notice that I had this beat up pan with this cooling rack on it, and this is what I put my chicken pieces on when I take them out of the oil, because it keeps them elevated. They're not on something, and so the air can circulate around the breading and the breading doesn't stick to what it's laying on, and then you lose the breading, because the breading is a good part. Okay, so that would be another tip, is to put it on a cooling rack or just something elevated, where you can get some air around it, so you don't just sit it on paper towels and the paper towels sop up the grease and then it gets a mushy mess and you lose your goodie. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, it's good right by itself. I didn't eat lunch today, so this is my lunch. Better be better with a biscuit. Thank y'all so much for coming along with me as I cook my favorite Southern staple, fried chicken. Make you some. Don't be intimidated by it. Just watch your temperature, watch your time, and you'll have good chicken. Oh, and don't start the grease on high. Put her on medium. All right? I hope you make you some. Let me know if you do. Again, let me know your favorite fried chicken memory, or how you like to fry chicken, or if you're scared to fry chicken, or if you've never fried chicken. But here's your good place to start. See you on the next one.